So in this video, we'll be going over proportion. So more specifically, direct proportionality and inverse proportionality. So what we'll be doing is I'll explain to you how we're going to do these, each of them, and then I'll give you guys some questions to try out, and then I'll give you some more challenging questions, and then we'll go through all of this. So really, essentially, at the end of this video, you should be able to understand how to do direct proportional questions and inverse proportionality questions. And of course, if this video has helped you, please give this video a big thumbs up, and put any comments as well that on topics that you would like me to do, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Okay, so let's get straight to this. So in this question, so we have two separate questions here. One is direct proportional and one is inversely proportional. So I thought it would be easier if I just show it to you side by side so you can see the difference. Now, the way proportionality works is very simple. So if we look at this first question, it's saying B is directly proportional. So the key word here is directly proportional, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to say B, and then you're going to do this thing called this fish sign, I guess, right? So I'm going to say directly proportional to A. So I'm going to say it like this. So B is directly proportional to A. So that's the first step. Now, what we want to do is we want to take away this fish sign and bring a value of a constant value. So all we're going to do, the next step is we're going to say B. This fish sign now changes to equals, and then we're going to have K, A. Now, K is this constant that we're going to find, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So you go from B, directly proportional to A, the fish sign goes away, and now that changes into equals, but then introduces the constant value K. Now, if you look at the question, it's saying B is equals to 14 when A is 56. I can use these two values to find K. So essentially what I'm going to do is my B value is 14, so I'm going to put 14 here. Equals K, I don't know, but remember that's what we're trying to find out, right? Times A value. A is 56. So 14 equals K times 56. So because you want to find the constant value K, we're going to divide. So we're going to say K is equals to 14 divided by 56. Because obviously you move 56 to the other side. So that's going to give us 1 over 4. So once you find the constant value of K as 1 over 4, all you're going to do is you're going to put it back into this equation here. Now, how does that look? Essentially, what you're going to have is you're going to say B equals to, now instead of saying K, because I know what K is, which is a quarter, I'm going to say a quarter A. So that's the equation that I've found now, right? So once you got this equation, then we can go to the second line here when it's saying find the value of A when B equals 10. So I'm going to use this equation. They're asking me find the value of A, so I'll put a question mark, but they're saying B is equals to 10. So I'm going to substitute B equals to 10 in this formula here. So when B equals to 10, so it's going to be 10 equals 1 over 4A. Now what we can do, we can cross multiply the 4 by 10. So that means 10 times 4 is equals to A. So that means A is equals to 40. And that's your answer. So that's how you do the direct proportional question. So remember, these two steps are very important here, the first two steps. Put the fish sign and then put the equals. And then you're just putting the numbers. Okay, so if you need a bit of time, just stop the video, take some notes, and then resume the video, and I'm going to go through the inverse proportional question. So for the inverse proportional question, let me use a different color. Let's just use red here. So now the key word here is inversely proportional. So now our equation is going to be slightly different, right? So we're going to say D. So obviously it says D is inversely proportional. So the fish sign is going to stay the same. Now, when they say inversely proportional, we're going to say 1 over, right? This is the format of how we do it. So 1 over proportional to C. So 1 over C. D is inversely proportional to 1 over C. So this is how you write inverse proportional questions. Now, again, what we're going to do, we're going to change the fish sign to equals. Now, this 1 changes into K, the constant K. So we're going to have K over C. Just like how we did it here. Now we had K here. In this case, the 1 changes into K. Now, remember, we're going to find the constant value of K. And they've given us a value of D equals 9 and C equals 16 here, right? So if I substitute that in here, so when D is 9, I can put 9 equals to K over C. C is 16, right? Now remember, we're trying to find K, so what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to do 9 times 16 equals to K. So that means K is equals to 144. So if you remember, once we found out K, we're going to put it back into this equation. So we can rewrite this as D equals to, instead of K, I'm going to have 144 over C, right? So this is the equation that I have. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use, now we can use the next line, find the value of D when C equals 4. So D is equals to 144 divided by, your value of C, which is 4. So if you do 144 divided by 4, D is equals to 36. and that is your answer. So the reason why I've put it side by side, direct proportional, inverse proportional, is you can see the difference. The main two difference is, look at this equation here and look at this equation here, right? That's the main difference. Inverse proportional means 1 over, directly proportional means just like this, I guess. So once you get those two equations, it's all about just putting the values inside the formula and finding the value. Okay, so again, take notes on this as well. Stop the video, take notes, and then what I'm going to do on the next one is I'm going to give you questions for you guys to try out, and then I will go through it. Okay, so here's the questions, have a go at them, and then we're going to go through this. Right, so the first one, P is directly proportional to T. So what we can do straight away, we can say P fish sine T, and then we're going to bring that into equals KT, and then we're going to put the value of P equals 3 and T equals 12 into this equation to find K. So that's going to be 3K times 12. So that means K is equals to 3 over 12. So that means K equals to 1 over 4. Once you've got that, you can put it as P is equals to 1 over 4 T. And then we can find the value of T. So when P is 8, so if we put 8 here, 1 over 4 times T. Because I want to find T, I can cross multiply the 8 by 4. So that means T is equals to 32. That's the answer you should have got. Now, if we look at the second one, U is inversely proportional. So I can say U inversely proportional to 1 over F. That means U equals to K over F. You know your U value, which is 18. K is what we're trying to find out, and F is 4, right? So if we find K, that's basically 18 times 4, which is 72. So your K value should have been 72. Once you've got that, put it back into the equation. U is equals to 72 over F. And now we can find the value of U when C, why is it saying C here? That shouldn't be say C. That should say basically F, my bad. Yeah, so that should have been saying F. So that means U is equals to 72 divided by F, which is 8. So U is equals to 9. So that is the answer that you should have got. Apologies for that. That should have been F. Okay, so if you've got that, great. If you haven't, check where you went wrong. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to give you a bit more harder question, a bit more challenging question on the next one for you guys to have a go. Okay, so here's a bit more challenging question on both direct proportional and inversely proportional. Have a go at this, and then we're going to go through this. Right, so this is basically, it's the same thing, but it's just the wording is a bit more, you can say a bit more challenging. But essentially the way we're going to do this is we're going to say T directly proportional to the cube of C. Now, cube of C basically means C to the power of 3. Square of C, C squared. Cube of C, C3. So that's what you should have got. And then we're going to say T is equals to KC cube. And remember, because we want to find our K value, we've got these two values here that they've given us. So 16 is T, K times C cube, which is 0.2 cube, right? So because we want to find K, we can say 16 over 0.2 cube. So that should give you 2000. So that will be your K value. So once you got your K value, put that back into the equation. So you're going to say T is equals to 2000 C cube. And then we can find our value of C when T is 128. So if I put 128 here, 2000 and then C cube. So that means C cube is equals to 128 divided by 2000. And then C is basically the cube root of whatever you get when you do 128 divided by 2000. So let me just quickly do that. So it's 128 divided by 2000, and if I press shift, where's that cube answer? So your answer should have been actually 205, so 0.4. So you should have got 0.4 as your answer for C. Okay, if you got that, well done. If not, just see now. Hopefully you can understand what cube of C means now. Now, if we look at the second one, Y is inversely proportional. So we know, okay, Y inversely proportional. So straight away, Y fish sine 1 over, because it's inversely proportional, cube root of X. Now, it's not cube, it's cube root. So if it's cube root, I know it's going to be that root here, X. But because it's cube, which is 3, it's going to be like that. So cube root, this is what cube root is. So again, we're going to change the fish sign to equals, change the 1 into K, and then we'll put the cube root X like this. So we can put these values in here to find out K. So when Y is 6, K cube root of 27, because X is 27. So K is equals to 6 times, because we're going to cross multiply, cube root of 27 is 3. So K is equals to 18. So once we got that, we can put that back into our equation. Y is equals to 18 over cube root X. And we can now find our value of X when Y is 2. So if we put Y equals 2 here, so that's 218 over cube root X. Cross multiply this. So you're going to have 2 times cube root X equals to 18. Because you want cube root x by itself, I can't write this cube. Move the 2 to the other side, so you're dividing because there's a time. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. Now, to get rid of the cube root, you do the opposite. So the opposite of cube root is cube. So you're going to do 9 cube, right? So make sure you understand that. The opposite of cube, so it's like me saying, okay, if x squared is equals to 4, what's x? Square root of 2. But for me to get from square root to this side, you have to square it. So it's the opposite. So if you see cube root, you square it. So that means x cube is 9 cube, which is what, 729? So that should be your answer. Okay, so hopefully you've understand now. This is literally direct proportionality and inverse proportionality topic, right? This is literally what it is. But if you're able to understand these kind of questions, you're on your way to doing well on this topic. If you have any other questions or any other things you want me to go through, just put it down in the comments. And again, if this video has helped you out, a thumbs up would be really appreciative. And yeah, until then, I'll see you on the next video.